The Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame, with exciting Vol sports prints now available.
This is the Sports Source, presented by Bill Hotz and Associates, and by Renewal by Andersen, with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning, good selection Sunday morning, and welcome into the Sports Source presented by Bill Hotz and Associates. Appreciate you joining us. Hope you've got your pencils ready, because today we're going to be talking not only about Tennessee going for an SEC tournament title this afternoon, it would be their first since 1979, but we're also going to be breaking down, about 60 or 70 potential foes for Tennessee in the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. I'm going to tell you who would be a good matchup, bad matchup, the idea being by the time the selection show runs around tonight, you'll be able to go, oh, good, we got Wright State, or oh, gosh, we got Bucknell. That's the idea. Let's get into it. First segment brought to you by Bill Hotz and Associates. If you've been injured in a car accident due to a careless driver, you might be out of work and in with doctors for weeks. But the bills, they don't stop. They just keep piling up. Let Bill Hotz and Associates get you the financial help you deserve if you've been injured in a car wreck by a careless driver. Bill Hotz and Associates. You see the website right there. And you see the guys who are joining me today on the panel. We have so much information. We've whittled down the panel. It's going to be a lightning fast. It's my speed group. We've got Mark Pankratz here, our basketball analyst, of course, former Division I basketball player who played in the tournament, and also former coach at Tennessee under Conzo Martin and Bruce Pearl. Thanks for being with us. Jimmy Himes and Josh Ward, both these guys here from WNML Sports Radio, WNML. I always want to say sports animal.
That's okay. We go by that now.
Are you back to that now?
Yeah, we're back to that.
Okay.
All of the above now.
Yeah.
All of the above. All right. Josh Ward, Jimmy Himes, you can hear those guys Monday through Friday, every single day on 990 and 99.1. All right. Packed show, as I said. Lots of information to get to, but let's start. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think we would be. I thought this show was planned to have one segment where we talk about the SEC tournament, and then it's all NCAA. Had to change that yesterday because Tennessee went out and shot lights out against Arkansas, just blew the doors off. It was probably the best shooting half they've had under Rick Barnes. Tell me about this team continuing to take care of business. So we all had them on the bubble. Jimmy, you had them in the tournament. Josh, you can't decide if you did. Bubble-ish. Yeah. I don't think any of us thought they'd be conference champions, vying for a tournament championship, and also playing for possibly a 2 seed today. Mark, I'll start with you. Tell me about this Tennessee basketball team that just won't quit.
Well, we've talked about their depth, but I think the biggest change in the last 2 months is Admiral Schofield. I mean, his scoring ability at all levels, whether it's on the block, his three-point shooting ability, but then his what he can do defensively. But then you saw it in his leadership yesterday with Kyle Alexander missing a layup, gets in his face, grabs him by the collar, so to speak. Kyle Alexander goes and dunks the basketball a trip or two later. So his leadership has been a big key to this team.
I think another key is that they got so many different weapons. One night it might be Schofield leading them in score, and then it could be Williams, and it could be Turner, and then yesterday it's Jordan Bone. They just have a lot of different people, and it seems like on a given night at least a few of them are playing well enough for Tennessee to win. But that shooting exhibition yesterday was incredible. And just when I thought, okay, they're going to let Arkansas back in this game when they missed 3 layups, well, they came back with a huge answer and put Arkansas away.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Bone, you bring up his name, what he did yesterday, I think that Jordan Bone is another example of what Tennessee's potential can be. When he's as good as he was, there's a reason that his teammates talked to him about taking advantage of one-on-one opportunities, going and getting his own shot at times, because he could be the most explosive guy on the floor a lot of the time, and he's a guy that can go make plays. And when he does that, that really can help Tennessee with Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield when they're already going.
Vols have Kentucky this afternoon, of course. I mean, it's just, I don't care what kind of regular season Kentucky has. You get to March, and they're going to start playing Kentucky basketball. You just look at what they've done historically. It's insane in the tournament. So that's who you get. Mark, I'll start this with you. Fans, I think, you look at it and you say, oh, I don't want to try and beat a team 3 times in the same season. They're due. Or do you look at it as a coach and say, no, I think we got their number because we're in this position. What do you think about playing a team 3 times in the same season, trying to beat them 3 times in the same season?
In this example, I don't like it because Kentucky, as you said, has really changed from the time that they've played them. They've changed some defenses. Their guard play's gotten better. Their roster's gotten deeper with some guys have gotten eligible. So they're a different ball club. So for me, it makes me nervous trying to beat them for the 3rd time.
I think also with Kentucky, they had that 4-game losing streak. Then they won 4 in a row. They go to Florida and lose, but now in the tournament, They've won, what, 6 of their last 7 games, something like that. Gabriel goes off with 7 out of 7 from three-point range. I think their guard play's been better, and I think that's one of the things that has made Kentucky a more dangerous team and a better team the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and Kentucky's defended so well in the SEC tournament. They smothered Georgia and Alabama. And Tennessee's going to have to take care of the basketball against Kentucky. But if you look at the narrative side of it, Tennessee trying to get its first SEC tournament win since 1979 would be even sweeter for Tennessee if it's going 3-0 against Kentucky.
From a fan perspective, fans always want to win, obviously, but is this team playing with a little bit of house money right now? I mean, how much you're looking at possibly a 2 seed or a 3 seed, certainly a 3 seed. I don't know what the disappointment level would be if they come out and lose today. Nobody wants to lose, but I don't see this being, if Tennessee weren't going to the NCAA tournament, for example, or they were on the bubble, this would be a bigger deal if you lost, in my mind. Whereas, yes, you want your first tourney in 40 years, but at the same time, you got bigger things ahead, in my view. Am I looking at that wrong?
No, I agree with you. I think that's absolutely correct. And I don't think if Tennessee loses today, it hurts their seeding at all. In fact, the only thing I think that would happen is Tennessee might improve its seeding going from 3 to 2. Would be sweet to beat Kentucky 3 in a row and to win that first SEC tournament title since '79. Sure, it would be. But the bigger picture to me now is what you do in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
But to me, fan base, house money, beating Kentucky again, I think where the pandemonium kicks in is when you can beat Kentucky for an SEC tournament championship as opposed to just winning a couple games in the NCAA tournament.
Okay. Let's talk about this tournament crown here. Some information. We got Tennessee all-time in the SEC tournament. They've won it 4 times. Now, it went many years without a tournament in the SEC, but still 1936, 1941, 1943, and then Don DeVoe's team in 1979. Last one. That was the year they brought it back in the SEC. Tennessee hasn't won it since. They've been runner-up 6 times. You look down there at the bottom, Kentucky compared to Tennessee, they've won it 31 times, and they've been runner-up 10 times. Regular season and tournament champ for Tennessee, they've only done it 3 times, 36, 41, and 43. They shared the title, the regular season title, in each of those 3 years with Kentucky. But 3 times, this would be only the 4th time in history they've won the regular season and tournament title. And the last time, well, they've only beaten UK 3 times in a season, 3 times, 1917, 1920, and 1979, again, that Don DeVoe team. So it's been a while. You can knock off the championship and 3 times in a season with 1 stone today, the first time since 1979. I know Don DeVoe will be watching and pulling for the Vols today.
Well, on the flip side of that, Kentucky's lost more tournament titles than Tennessee has.
Good point. Good point. That's true. All right. When we come back, we're going to start digging into the value of seeds. Now, we're going to talk a little later in the show. We're going to give you our predictions for Tennessee, Kentucky. So we got more on that. Next, though, we're going to start digging into seeds, talking about what Tennessee may get, but how important is seeding? We'll show you. Come on back.